So hello and welcome to another episode of Good Fat Life. And today we're just going to take a little pause today. I'm going to be my guest, and just full disclosure, I smashed my rib on an airplane, bending over the armrest and kind of tore the cartilage from the rib. And it hurts. And I've just found that it says it can be a 4 to 6 week kind of mend. There's not much you can do. And it's kind of inspired me to look at things a little bit differently. So one of the things that's big, two things happened. Also on my Google photos came up a notice of my pictures, 2024 in review. I'm sure many of you have seen that. And the pictures that popped up, it showed there were over 300 pictures of people smiling in the photos. And the majority of them were my husband, my grandkids. And then there were food, lots of food pictures. You can tell what I like to do. And flowers. And so it got me thinking. So that was reactive, right? I didn't set out to take over 300 pictures of people smiling in 2024, but I thought, what would happen if I was intentional about the pictures that I took in 2025? And so, like I said, it just got me thinking of things that I want to create in 2025 in a way that is not, again, nobody likes resolutions. The research all shows that we all forget about them because they feel like work. And all that goes with it. So I was thinking about, what are those little things? We like to call them little wonders. How can we add more little wonders to our day so that when we're looking at our pictures or our documentation on whatever that looks like for you at the end of 2025, that we can see how intentional we were in creating the world that we want to live in. So one for me is pictures of people smiling. And the other one that I want to take pictures of are, in addition to food and flowers, are kindness, random acts of kindness. And I don't know what that looks like, but that's half the fun of being curious about, well, what would that look like? Again, I don't know, but I get to have the joy of finding that out. So here we go. So I went to ChatGPT, which I absolutely love. I use ChatGPT, Perplexity AI, and Cloud AI. And they all have kind of like different purposes. And I'm sure for those of you who use any kind of AI, you'll find the one that works best for you, but you can use them for different things. So ChatGPT, I was asking it, what are some ideas that we can use to bring our vision boards to life? And I loved some of these. Here were some creative ideas: gratitude and kindness, document daily kindnesses, write down one act of kindness you gave or received each day. It can be as simple as holding a door open or sharing a compliment. And what's so cool about this is I like to do this at the end of the day, is that causes me to pause and to be in the moment and go, wow, I really appreciated when that person held the door open for me or let me in traffic or whatever it is. Sometimes it's bigger than that, bought me a coffee, whatever. Thank you notes. Write and send a thank you note to someone each week, acknowledging how they inspire or support you. And to add on to that is my kids like videos. My kids and my grandkids want a little video because a thank you note doesn't mean the same to them, a written note, as a little video does. And when I send these like to my grandkids, the response are somewhat hysterical. And then a kindness jar. Drop a note in a jar each time you witness or perform an act of kindness and review them monthly. Or what some people like to do is when they need a little pick-me-up, you can go to your jar and you can reach in and pick up something that just makes you smile for a second. So there's personal growth, 5 minutes in your journal, one thing you did that aligns with your vision. Again, these are like ways to stop and take an awareness, because no day is all good or all bad. They're kind of like this, right? The days ebb and flow, and we have good things that happen, things that make us smile, that make our hearts sing. And then there's those things where you want to say a swear word and that's when I start swearing. That's when it cues me to say, oh, I wonder, or get curious about how this particular thing is going to play out in a positive way in my life. Like my rib. It's like, oh, I wonder how this is going to make my life better. And in some ways it has. It has already. In other ways, it's like we're still wondering. Connection. What about a smile library, like I said, with my pictures, is taking those moments to just capture that. A daily compliment somebody. I mean, and we all know when the compliment is real and when it's contrived, but just really be mindful of how many times have you looked at somebody and go, oh, I love their smile, or that sweater looks great on them, or whatever, their hair looks good today, but we don't say anything. So just make that point to say something. And I love this one, Story Archive. Interview friends, family, or strangers about their life dreams, hopes, or challenges, and compile a storyboard of inspiration. I recently was in Saudi Arabia with a concert with a National Arab Orchestra who I work with, and I was just blown away with the dozens of amazing conversations that I had with mostly strangers, people I didn't know, or musicians that I hadn't met before, where you ask a question and it can be as simple as, where's your family? Or when did you start taking music lessons, or whatever. And the stories are fascinating. And it's kind of like what makes life worth living is that connection with people. Health and wellness. Meal reflection. Document one healthy meal each day with a photo and why it made you feel good. Now, I love that one. I'm actually looking forward to doing this because I want to expand my meal library repertoire. And I do want to be mindful of those foods that really make me feel good. What really, really makes me feel good? And I'm not talking about it because it's like a comfort meal, but it actually makes my body energized and, just feeling good. The same thing with an energy check-in. How do I feel after I do something? Walking, stretching, meditating, and paying attention to those habits that really energize me. Like Pilates or a walk. I know when I do either of those, I am just going to feel clear-minded and better afterwards. I just have to remember that to get me going, to get me started. Creativity and inspiration. Start a little mini art project, or, what's something that you like to do where you feel creative? And it can be anything. For somebody, it might be doing a crossword puzzle versus, making a painting or whatever. It can be all kinds of things. Community engagement, a volunteer journal. You can spend 5 or 10 minutes volunteering at something and see how it makes you feel. There's so many things. There's so many organizations that could really use your help. And it could be as little as 5 or 10 minutes, or it can be hours. You get to choose. A community gratitude wall. I thought this was interesting. Create a virtual or physical wall where people can share what they're thankful for. I love that. I don't know what that looks like, but I was like, what could that look like? It's making me thinking. And then I like this one also, a civic action tracker. Document small ways you contributed to your community, such as recycling, voting, or attending a town event. So those are just a couple of things of, how you show up in your community. And again, these are things that encourage us to be more aware and more intentional about bringing our vision board to life, if you will. So weekly wins and celebration. Celebrate those wins. It's so easy to just go, okay, and move to the next thing and not just stop and say, hey, look what happened today. I learned a new word in French, or I finished that book, or whatever it is. I ate my vegetables today. Celebrate those wins. Stop and really celebrate that win, because it makes a difference. These are days of our lives, and it makes a difference. And nobody, with our habits, I've noticed that I've built habits that I really love that I've built, like the one where, when something happens and I really just if I if I swear in my head or out loud, I immediately go to, I wonder how this is going to improve my day, this or something better. And that's a new habit, but I did it over time and there was nothing painful about developing it. I don't have to use willpower. I don't have to use anything. It's just by being intentional and being aware of what it is we're wanting to create and then making those little moments. It's pretty soon it just becomes your way of being. And it hasn't been tough. It hasn't been hard, but you've moved to that kind of next level. So at Good Fat Life, that's kind of what we're all about, is supporting you in your journey to live the life and create the life that you want to live. And also connecting these amazing people over here that are doing all these brilliant products and services with people over here that are looking for those products and services. So that said, we have a new issue of Good Fat Life. It just drops this week, and we're very excited about it, as we always are. It just feels like, a big gift. It feels like the joy of Christmas every time a new magazine hits the stands. So remember, you can go to goodfatlife.com. And there's a digital version, there's a print version that's delivered to your home, or you can buy it at Barnes & Noble in the Brighton, Michigan area. And, excuse me, on that, I'm feeling my rib. On that happy note, I do want to do our shout out for Hands-On Health Chiropractic. It doesn't matter how I walk in, how I'm feeling. Like today, full disclosure, I'm in pain. And I walked in, and when I left, I had a huge smile on my face. I felt like life is great and all is good. And, I won't say I was grateful for the pain that brought me in, but I'm really, really grateful for the people that are there at Hands-On Health to make me feel better. So please check that out. And it's not just for pain. It's really, even my husband said that he's just so grateful that he has chiropractic and Hands-On Health, particularly in his life. And he resisted it all for many, many years. And now he just really sees how much better he feels because of the preventative care that he receives at Hands-On Health. So that said, check out goodfatlife.com and go out and live a good fat life.